why I stopped making food content, and why I'm coming back. A few years ago, I was creating almost every day. I was visiting restaurants, filming videos, taking photos, meeting chefs, and building something I genuinely loved called Hungry Wolf Co. And then I stopped. And the strange part is, I didn't stop because I hated it. I didn't stop because I lost interest. Honestly, it was almost the opposite. The dream got bigger, maybe a little too big. I started imagining what Hungry Wolf could become. A real show, real stories, something bigger than just another food page. But somewhere along the way, the bigger the dream became, the harder it was to actually create. So, what happened? Why did I walk away from something I loved? And why am I finally coming back? What's up, everyone? I'm Aristotle, and welcome back to Hungry Wolf Co. It feels a little strange saying that again because even though I haven't been posting like I used to, Hungry Wolf never really went away. It never left. It was just waiting for me. I was still thinking about it, still talking about ideas, still imagining what it could become. I just wasn't creating. And after taking some time away, I realized something. Maybe I wasn't trying to bring Hungry Wolf back. Maybe I was trying to understand what Hungry Wolf was always supposed to become. Hungry Wolf Co. started back in 2018, but being a foodie, well, that was from birth. I consider myself a natural born foodie. I ate everything and anything growing up, and being Filipino American, I was able to enjoy a wide variety of food. I grew up in the 80s, and in my early teens, I would watch food and travel shows on PBS back when food and travel shows weren't really what my friends were watching. And honestly, in the beginning, it was pretty simple. I love food, I love photography, I love making videos. So I grabbed my camera and started creating. At first, I was just sharing restaurants and dishes I enjoyed, but slowly, something started to happen. People started following, restaurants started noticing, opportunities started showing up. Chefs, cooks, and restaurant owners started telling me their stories, their love of food, their struggles, their journey, and why they do it. And that's when I started realizing something. That food was what got my attention, but the stories were what stayed with me. Every restaurant had a story. Every chef had a reason why they started. Every dish had some connection to culture, family, memories, or a moment in someone's life. And those were the things I found myself caring about the most. Not just, what does this taste like? But, why does this exist? Who created this? What's the story behind it? And that's why I fell in love with Anthony Bourdain shows and Somebody Feed Phil. You get to experience food through different cultures and their stories. And that's when the dream started getting bigger. I didn't want to just make food content, I wanted to tell stories. I wanted to create something that felt like Hungry Wolf. But honestly, that wasn't the only reason why I stepped away. After years and years of content creating and managing social media, I was tired, very tired. I was burned out from constantly trying to keep up with the trends, algorithms, what was working, what wasn't working, and I think I just needed a break from social media altogether. Around that same time, I lost some of the social media management accounts I had been working with. And even though there were business and economic reasons behind that, I'd be lying if I said it didn't mess with my confidence just a little bit. I started questioning whether I was actually good at this as I thought I was. And after years of making food content, let's just say my waistline had also become a very enthusiastic supporter of Hungry Wolf. I started thinking more about my health and what kind of relationship I wanted to have with food content going forward. And at the same time, the whole food influencer world was changing. And I wasn't always sure I wanted Hungry Wolf to follow where it was going. Eventually, I just lost the motivation to create. But Hungry Wolf never really left my mind. And when I finally started thinking seriously about creating again, something interesting happened. The dream got even bigger. And the bigger the idea became, the more pressure I put on myself. Suddenly, it wasn't just grab the camera and create. Now it became, I need the perfect idea. I need the perfect setup. I need the perfect format. I need everything figured out first. I got stuck in the loop of researching camera gear, lighting, camera angles, storytelling, script writing, and then buying more equipment. Wash, rinse, and repeat. It became a vicious cycle. And before I realized it, I was spending more time preparing to create than actually creating. I was watching videos about making videos, researching how to start, learning things I already knew, waiting for some perfect moment. And honestly, that was probably the hardest part, because from the outside, it probably looked like I stopped caring about Hungry Wolf. But behind the scenes, I probably thought about it more than ever. But the funny thing is, Hungry Wolf didn't start because everything was perfect. Hungry Wolf started because I just started. Recently, I started thinking about why I created Hungry Wolf in the first place. But eventually, I realized I could keep waiting for the perfect version of Hungry Wolf, or I could just start creating again. Maybe I was looking at it too narrowly. Maybe Hungry Wolf was never just about restaurants. Maybe it wasn't even just about food. Maybe Hungry Wolf was about curiosity. Being hungry to learn, hungry to experience, hungry to understand the stories behind things. Food is still a huge part of that. Food is where this started. But there's so many stories worth telling. So what is Hungry Wolf now? Well, this is the next chapter. Yes, we're still going to talk about food. We're still going to visit restaurants. We're still going to tell those stories. But we're also going deeper. The people, the culture, the history, the creativity, the journey behind why things matter. Because sometimes the most interesting part of a meal isn't what's on the plate. It's everything that happened before it got there. So if you've been here since the beginning, thank you. Sincerely from the bottom of my heart. And if you're new here, welcome. I don't have everything perfectly figured out, and maybe that's the whole point, because waiting for perfect is exactly what kept me from starting again. This is me picking the camera back up. This is me getting back to telling stories. I'm Aristotle. This is Hungry Wolf Co., and we're hungry again. Oh, if you like this shirt and you want to support, the link will be in the description. Thank you guys.